So it's the school holidays, and it seems the only way I can get any quiet to make you guys a video is by coming out into the middle of nowhere. I'm not even sure what this place is. Sony got me a new jacket. Thanks, Sony. But anyway, I've come out here to talk to you guys about my experience on my first ever workshop as an attendee. So a little bit of background about me first. If you haven't been following along for a while, I've been shooting weddings full-time for the last 3 or 4 years, and shot my first wedding maybe 10, 11 years ago. And it took a long time to build up, so over that first 5 years I didn't really do a whole lot. But now it's my full-time income. I've been teaching workshops and, you know, progressing my skill as I go. But I was having a conversation with my friend Zan, who is actually one of the speakers at this workshop, and we were discussing about growth and how we change over time and things like that. And one of the things that came up is that, you know, when you're growing and you're sort of in that new era of photography and even into the intermediate level of photography, you really have a lot of times where things pop and you have a lot of realizations that really advance your photography a whole lot. Whereas when you've been doing it for a while and you've been in the game for a long time and technically you've probably learned most of the things you can learn, you don't know what you don't know. So if that makes any sense. So for me personally, you know, I'm really happy with my work. I do think it could be better. I'm one of those people that's never really super happy with anything I make. You know, there's always something I wish I would have done better. So I decided to go along to this workshop. Some of the speakers were James Day over in Australia. He's a really great guy. They had Bubble Rock, Amber and Zan, my friends, a whole bunch of other speakers. To be honest, when I first paid for it, it wasn't a cheap event. It was a 3-day thing down in Raglan. It's called Down to Photo. I was a little bit worried that I wasn't going to get my money's worth. You know, I'm just hesitant because, like I said just before, I don't know what I don't know. Anyway, fast forward and we went down to Raglan and it was just a fantastic time. Now I can't say I went along and had some big epiphany and everything has changed and I'm a new photographer. That's not what happened. But I really valued all the experience and all the discussions. There was about 20, 30 photographers there, all in their game, you know, all professionals, and the sharing of knowledge and discussions and inspiration was really eye-opening for me. So one of the biggest things I took away from this workshop was just all the relationships with people and really getting info out of everybody else, not just the speakers, but, you know, really connecting with everybody and figuring out who does what better. And there's a lot of things to learn or change that you can refine to craft your skill. And I realized, one of the big things I realized is that I was getting a little bit lazy with techniques, and, you know, I wasn't really using flash like I used to on the dance floor. I wasn't using, you know, I used to use all these different tricks and stuff to make these really cool techniques and different compositions, and I just got a bit stale on that. So going along and seeing how other people do things and learning new tricks was a really great example for me, and I'm really happy I went along. So over the next few weeks, a lot of these videos coming out of my YouTube channel are going to be about things that I learned, techniques that I've refined. I'm going to do a lot more live stuff on my camera with the GoPro on top of the camera at weddings and things like that, and show you guys really the nitty-gritty of wedding photography and how I go about it. I think for me, going to the workshop, like I said, it was just really about getting that inspiration back and finding that fire and learning just these little techniques and little tricks and refining how I do things. I kind of realized what I already knew before but had kind of forgotten, that wedding photography is really about those special moments and family and the memories that people are going to forget, or they'll lose loved ones in the future, and it's your photographs that are really going to bring that back to them. So for me, it's really learning about how to document the day more thoroughly, so that every time they look back at their photos, they can see everything that went on and relive the day every time they see it. I definitely picked up a few technical things as well, especially with lighting. Listening to Amber and Zan's talk about lighting was really cool. I'm looking forward to trying that out. I have a wedding this weekend on Saturday, so I'm taking along my lights. I've got some new Godox lights and a new trigger. So we're going to play with that, play with some gels. One of the things that really hit home for me, again, it was Amber and Zan's talk, but they were talking about breaking it down, breaking every part of the wedding day down into little sections, so you can improve each section at every wedding you go to. You can just kind of concentrate on that one thing. It's just about picking out little details of the day and improving on that one thing, rather than just trying to get better at wedding photography as a whole. The food on the workshop was just mind-blowing. Kenrick was the chef, he's a wedding photographer as well, and his food was just insane. It was so good. It was definitely one of the best parts. And the party we had at the end was like next level. I'm not a dancer, I'm pretty reserved, you know, and I was a maniac. So this party was just fantastic. I think we need to lose that attitude of competition and keeping information to ourselves. We need to really prop each other up and help each other out and share information where possible. Now this isn't a promotional video at all, you know, I didn't get paid to say any of this stuff. This is just my thoughts on my first photography workshop as an attendee, and I'm really happy I went along. If you guys want to grow in your photography and you want to learn something new, or you just feel like things are getting a little bit stale, there's definitely no point in your career, at least for me yet, that I've thought, you know, there's nothing I can learn, I've made it to the top and this is it. That moment doesn't come, and I've realized that over the last few years, that you're just always going to grow. So my advice, if you're looking for a photography workshop to go on, think about the people that are speaking and what they do and see if it relates to you. And one of the things, we had a guy come along, Simon Devitt, I think, sorry if that was pronouncing his last name wrong, but he's an architecture photographer, photographing really high-end houses and really amazing locations. And that talk for me was really eye-opening as well. So it's not all necessarily going to be about wedding photography. I'm rambling a little bit. This is just my real thoughts. Like I said, I haven't scripted any of this stuff down. So if you guys have any questions, I am opening a Facebook group for my YouTube channel. So you guys can go onto that, and it's a little bit easier to answer questions. I don't always get notifications from YouTube. Keep commenting on my YouTube videos because that really helps the analytics and building my channel up. But I'll put a link in the description for the Facebook group that I'll be starting up today. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you got a little bit out of this video. It was more just my general thoughts and experience with the workshop, but it was just really fantastic. Again, I can't say it enough, and I definitely don't regret spending the money. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow.